So I just wanted to say goodbye, world, in the event that I'm not alive next week. I've run out of time, and apparently, since I made like $200, $300 in September, Montana Unemployment Insurance thinks that I'm going to be able to afford to go move into some house up north near a place that I maybe could have a job. I had a job before the last two places of work, but I had to be honest, as I had to fill out a normal application, and I had to put the reason why I left these jobs, and I couldn't come up with anything better but the honest, actual reason as to why I left the jobs at the last place, because it was unsafe, because there was corrupt, criminal, drug related activity going on in the place where I lived and shared housing with the other chefs. And I had to report bestiality. Who should be expected to live next to that? And who should be punished for reporting that sort of thing? And then at the place before that, I had somebody literally hand me a pharmaceutical reps scale, saying they were scared for their life, and the management of that place wouldn't report it. Guess who has jobs in secure places to live? The management that won't report their pharmaceutical rep friends' scale. Now, if I die next week, it'll be because my dog and I froze out there in the below 0 degree weather. Apparently I'm supposed to be able to just survive because this is why government, that people can't even tell the truth. I sell $300 of jewelry back in September, and I finally sold $100 more this week. That counts into this week. But you want to disqualify me for the last 2 weeks of unemployment because I sold $300 worth of jewelry in September? Are you kidding me? Are you people out of your freaking minds? Are you trying to kill honest people? Are you trying to kill the good people? The only few people that are still moral and upright and ethical on this land. And keep all the criminals around. Let criminals run things and put women's lives in danger because there are absolutely no resources for us. No, I really lucked out. I got a Christian family. That would have been great back when Christians used to save people's lives. But now the opposite happens. Quite literally, they put in their bulletin at my dad's church that to save somebody's life is to enable them, and it was wrong. Yeah, y'all ought to have your butts taxed off in churches. You don't do what Jesus said to do. You don't at all. And in fact, you're going to hell for it. I couldn't go to lunch with my mom and dad today. Dad, who would want to hang out with somebody that quite literally lied about them for years, exposed them to disease, forced them to go on a missionary trip to Nicaragua where they got more disease, then lied about them and almost had them killed, and now defamed? Would you want to hang out with somebody like that? My life has been destroyed. No, Montana Standard is going to be sued. And it is going to come out the truth as to how the lack of family support and the abuse that I grew up in. Because you can't do the right thing. Had you propositioned with my daughter that, it was more than a lunch date, that it was actually, we care about your life, so we want to put you in safe housing sort of a date. Yeah, that's where you have to start. You don't just get to slide back into my life after destroying it, after almost having me killed, after lying about me for years to everybody. You have a problem. Why would I want to hang out with you? You would not want to hang out with somebody that got you sick, almost had you killed for it, and then lied about you. Had you defamed by the local newspaper because you're friends with corrupt people in the law. Would you want to hang out with people like that? You're fully out of your freaking mind. You people that are hacking my devices, you are fully out of your mind. You guys are the ones with the problem. It's called being psychopaths. It's called having disregard for innocent people's lives and completely destroying them and not even thinking twice about it. So if I am dead and I freeze next week, it's because I should have been getting unemployment for how long now? When it was much warmer and I could have actually got to a place to work at. But no, I have to wait for the money just to be denied by Montana unemployment because I made $200, $300 selling jewelry in September. You know what? I was going to go to the mall, which ended up being extremely slow there this past week. But my grandson got hand, foot, and mouth disease, so I didn't even make $40. What, were you going to disqualify me for the unemployment that I'm due because I made $40 at the mall? Had that happened? Seriously. How do you expect us to live off of a $300 worth of jewelry sales 3 months ago? You guys need to get your acts together, and you need to stop letting criminals destroy the lives of completely innocent, honest, crime reporting people. This is out of control. It's like you guys are trying to kill off all the good people, quite literally. That's what my story says when it is actually told and it is not prevented from uploading. I'm gonna go get my resume and read my resume and read why a person like me should not be in a situation like this. First off, I should add my chronic illness and my neglected tropical diseases treated 20 years ago. I should not have lost my Etsy sites, my functionality. I should have been properly bought out of the businesses that I started by my family. When your family is sick, you help your family get the medical treatment they need to get better so that they can work and support themselves. You don't send thugs to their jobs to try to take them out. Could you be any more psychotic? Did you catch your flight? Is that why I'm able to use my device again? I need to know the truth. I need to be told the truth about this thing. It needs to happen already. It needs to be busted down. It needs to be made right. Quite obviously, I'm telling the truth about things, or I wouldn't be completely hacked, severely hacked all of the time. And you might be able to see this video now, but believe you me, it kept cutting off at quite important, detrimental, very relative points in my story. It just shuts off on me. I wouldn't just shut off a video randomly. My stuff is documented. It is screenshot. This is real. It is provable. At what point do people and do our country fight for the lives of people that are doing the right thing out there, that have honor, that are honest? At what point does that ever happen? It is no wonder our world is such a mess. It's such a disgusting mess. Because people like me that tell the truth, that care enough about the future generations and have been through it and know some solutions and know how to help people, we don't even have our lives saved, not even by our own family members. And that is everything that is wrong with the world today. And it's never going to get better as long as people like me are eliminated and we can't get our damn unemployment because we sold $300 worth of jewelry 2 months ago when we should have been getting unemployment while our driver's licenses were being renewed so we could get to a place where we're safe when it's not below zero. What is wrong with this picture except for everything? You're only making the story worse, and my story will be told because there are some things that obviously need to change. Now, if I am dead next week, it is quite literally because there's no support for people whose lives are in danger, who are hunted because they reported some of the worst crime that happens these days. If I die next week, it's not because of anything they set up. It's because I fucking froze out in the freezing cold in a highway somewhere. Because there are no answers for people like me. I'm afraid to even shut this off, but I'm going to read my resume. Exactly why I should not be in this situation at all whatsoever. In fact, I should be in a very opposite situation where I am successful and thriving and have secure housing. I hope somebody downloads this, and if I do end up dead, I hope you please put my story on blast, because it's also going to validate a whole lot of lives that have been innocently taken and turned into something else. Another story being told, another scenario being set up to blame it on that innocent person that was murdered. It has happened so much. And the thing about it is everyone's catching on now. So when people like me say this and tell the truth about it, it no longer sounds nearly as crazy as it did a few years ago. Whoever has been working against me is a serious criminal. And has probably some of the worst intentions a human soul could have on this earth. If you families aren't there to protect the lives of your targeted sibling, your chosen sibling, you're made very chronically ill, so ill she was fainting on the way to the bathroom for years, sibling, then you are the same thing as murderers. My family all has so much, it would be almost like loose change for them to have put together to save my life, but they never cared about my life. Now, why would I want to hang out with people like that? If you had your life thrown away by people that called themselves your family, you wouldn't want to hang around them either. My family's a mess, and I can't wait to get out of here. I do just fine, but it's so weird how, I'm afraid to even tell my dad where I am going. I don't want him to even know where I go. That is pretty messed up when your life gets to that point. But all you'd have to do is get the evidence or lack thereof from our little public defender's office in this town and compare it to what the newspaper left in, what actually happened. What happened to me needs to be made into a movie. My situation is like a huge deal. It is George Floyd to the exponent, because I was not even a criminal. I was a chronically ill person that was too sick to sit up in a chair, and I was almost killed for it. And then I've been lied about. Now, do you think that makes it easier for somebody like me to find a place to work with lodging, with a 16-year-old German Shepherd? Do you think it's going to help me? Do you think that helps it make it any easier for me to get jobs? No, I should be in a professional management related job. That's the neuropsych appointments that I have executive skills. Why can't your brains latch onto the truth? I'm sorry you messed up, but you continue to mess it up, and you continue to make yourself look fully more evil. All of you that refuse to support my life. If you are not for me, you are against me. You continue to make yourself look even more and more and more evil. The more you lie about things, the more you cover things up, the more you pretend you should have come correct. You've had so many opportunities. This town, this newspaper here has had so many opportunities to right an extremely wrong situation concerning me that makes George Floyd look like almost, no, I can't even say that. Can't even say that. But quite literally, nobody should be killed for having a chronic Lyme disease co-infection that isn't treated in America. 20 years of medical neglect, lies being told about them because they had a skin condition. I've had a leaky cone head. I've not even had it on my face, but I still had holes in my freaking face. It was like leprosy. I was not on drugs. I was not delusional. I have a freaking skin disease. An infectious disease lab proves it. An entry-level infectious disease lab proves it. You guys need to stop lying about people. You need to stop destroying people's lives with your discrimination. You are acting criminally. You are acting unjustly. You are acting unethically. You are acting immorally. And worst of all, you are acting completely inhumane. This town and these so-called professionals are completely inhumane. You need to fix the situation, and you need to make it right. I'm on my way out. You can go ahead and keep the curse on this town if you can't do right by me. My life is in danger, and I'm sure all y'all professionals would just love to see me freeze out there. Huh? Would you attorneys that have been involved in my case that know the truth? It's so funny that attorney that did my Social Security disability case, when I brought up this stuff and I mentioned the fact I sing, oh, you sing too? The doctor that like refused to do the labs after approached by Box Bum Law, she explained to her John Hopkins student about my daughter and my daughter's relationship she was in at the time and her sexual preference and the fact that it was abnormal. Okay, if you're pointing stuff like that out in front of me, then come on. Why would you say stuff like that? You know, they don't deny it, but they do, and they think you're stupid? Seriously. If I weren't right about all the stuff I'm saying, then I wouldn't be being hacked and censored and shadowed. Now would I? Nope, sure wouldn't. Time to tell the truth. You know, if you guys wanted me to shut up so bad, you just got to do right by me. You got to compensate me. You got to recompense me. I've done my time. I've paid my share. I've contributed to society enough concerning medicine. Now, this is getting nuts and I'm going to remake it because people can't wrap their head around like money and greed. I don't know why. Don't know why all you poor people got to be fooled by the like extremely greedy people and at the great lengths that they will go to keep a few $1 million when they're just gonna fucking die here in a couple months. Seriously though. You think your spoiled brat kids are gonna do any better with your money? Nope. Funny thing is my grandpa wanted to make our name great. So I'm pretty sure had he known I'd have to go to Guatemala to get medical treatment in our country of America to get my life back and to be able to use my talents, pretty sure he wouldn't have, supposedly given all the money to Jimmy Carter. What's so funny is that supposedly my inheritance went to Jimmy Carter, who was all about housing, and I can't even find a safe place to live where I don't get electronically harassed, gang-stalked, my life threatened. Isn't that ironic? The irony of it. The irony of your inheritance supposedly going to Jimmy Carter. And being a professional that's just been targeted and gets thrown out of her job with less than 24 hours after she reports crime. Unemployment. If I had a house, I'd have a jewelry studio, and quite possibly I'd be making more jewelry. I'd make enough jewelry to maybe support myself in the freaking ghetto with reduced housing costs. Seriously. Oh my God. I have been living on like nothing. It's like you let the fraudulent criminals go, state of Montana, but like the honest people, you just want to prove them illegal. Stuff is so twisted in this day and age and these governments, it couldn't be any more twisted. All right? Supposedly the point of having all this surveillance and interference so you can see the truth of things. Now, who in the heck is going to come to my rescue and when is that going to happen? Because I've literally got about 4 days left of my freaking life if something doesn't happen now.